Hello friends, welcome back to another session of my financial predictions. Today is the 6th of June and we see like literally I was one day off for the massive volatility that I predicted. It happened yesterday. As you know guys, Trump and Musk have recently fallen out. There's some kind of trouble between them. They're starting to blame each other. Sorry guys. And they are affecting the Tesla stocks. You see that day was a massive, wow, this is quite big actually. This is at the lowest point, it was around 14%, something like that. So a massive crash that I was predicting for one day off, because you can see the yellow box, which always means volatility. Every single day that you can see in the boxes, it always represents a different magnitude of volatility compared to the circles. So you can see there was a single day right here for the 6th of June, and that day was one day off for this massive volatility, this massive crash. I was actually correct in my analysis regarding meme coins for these days. So if you want to see that crypto charts, just go and look for my crypto channel. I'll leave a link in the description so you can quickly see that content as well. But yeah guys, basically extreme volatility for this week, especially yesterday. Today mostly in range. You can see that this is where the price begins. Kinda does a 3% pump only to slowly lose steam, and finally basically closes very similar. Okay, this is actually a perfect range. And I told you many of these days could be volatile but also in range, because in difference to the boxes, whenever you see a yellow circle, they technically mean also both volatility or range, but the chances of seeing more range actually increases dramatically compared to the boxes, because that's exactly what I told you a couple minutes ago. It's different of magnitudes. Okay, so for the next week we can possibly see maybe the 9 could be a relaxed day, maybe chill around range, maybe like today, I don't know. But around the 10 or the 11 we could see very powerful volatility, and if we're very lucky we can see a recovery, a very strong recovery. I really hope it's a full recovery, but taking into consideration that they will basically require almost 10%, it's going to be kind of hard to actually achieve that in one single day. So if we're very lucky, the next week could see a full recovery from this massive crash that we saw on the 5th of June. Again guys, this is mostly just market manipulation, but I'm not going to delve into that. I just want to warn you that you need to watch my work like religiously, guys, because this volatility that I was forecasting for the 6th of June was one day off. That's how accurate I am. And no one else could have told you anything about this, okay? I am the only one who can predict finances to this level of accuracy. And if you had seen my chart from the first days, if you were a Tesla investor, you could have known from the very first video that I published that the 6th of June was going to be a very volatile day, that dates around very close to the 6th of June will be starting to develop into very strong volatility, and you will have prepared for this. Okay, so that's all I have for Tesla. Remember guys, the other chart that we're covering for this month of June is the SP 500, and you can see also it was very interesting as well. So for the SP 500, it's mostly in range. It's going to be very hard to see extreme volatility like we just saw with Tesla, like 10%, something like that, because the SP 500 basically measures the combined value of other stocks. Basically, it's an indicator for the US economy and by extension, the global economy. So not everything will be extremely that volatile, but even then, I told you that, for example, there was a massive range of days from the 2nd all the way to the 6th of June where one of these days will be volatile, and that's exactly what we saw yesterday. okay, on the 5th of June. So again, this is nothing compared to the 10%, 11% that we saw on Tesla, but this is because the SP 500 measures the health of many other stocks, okay? It's not just one stock, so that's why you're not going to see that reflected so much. Even though it was a very crazy day, it was a correction for the markets yesterday and around almost 1%, something like this. And for today, we got a very, very tame day, basically in range, kind of positive. But yeah, I told you also that the 6th of June, in this case, could be very volatile. That was actually not the case. We got a complete range. This is normal because whenever you see this pattern of combined energies, the 6 shared by both green and red energies, 90% of the times you can always see volatility. But when it doesn't happen, you can see the opposite, which is a complete flat range. That's exactly what we got today. So tomorrow, for the next week, again, we can see basically the outlook is kind of similar to Tesla. There are some differences. For example, in Tesla, it's on yellow many of the first days of the next week. Right here, we don't have any yellow. So for the index, it's kind of telling me that 9 or the 10 could see a correction. Now, there's also a massive range basically covering the entire week, almost the entire week, from the 9th to the 12th of June, where we're going to see some days very volatile. So if I were to say, I think the 11 could be a very volatile day. But maybe because this range is very large, we can see more than one day. So we need to be prepared because technically every single day up until the 12th of June shares opposite energies. You can see 9, 10 on the red right here, also as well on the green, 11. So the only one that doesn't share those energies is the 12th of June, and obviously the 13th, which falls outside this range. So be very prepared for basically the first 4 days of the next week, okay? The 4 or 3 days of the next week, because these days could be the most volatile for the next week of the market. So that's basically all I have for you guys, okay? If you have any questions, if you want more content, you can always write down in my email. It's in the YouTube comment, it's in the YouTube channel page section, where you can actually see more information, and that's where the email should be located. So having said that, guys, like, share, and subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.